Hey everyone, welcome back to day 10 of 100 days of Solidity series. So in this video, we will learn about require statements. Okay. So require statements are a way to enforce certain condition in a smart contract. Like if you want to perform some input validation, you can use require statements. And if you want to perform some access control mechanisms, you can use require statements. Okay. So when the require statement fails, meaning the condition fails, it reverts the transaction and returns an optional message. Okay. Now we'll see how it actually does that. So let's have a public variable. Let's say event public num equals 10. And let's have another public variable. Let's say event num1 equals 20. Okay. So let's see the syntax of require statements. We will do require and it takes a condition. Let's say num1 equals 20. Okay, we'll give a message. Let's say num1 is not equal to 20, is not 20. Okay, and we'll modify a state. Let's say num equals 11. Okay, so this is a basic example of require statement. Okay, let me explain what it does first. So first of all, it modifies our state variable num, and after that it checks if the require statement condition, like if the num1 is equal to 20. Okay, so as you can see, require statement is just a function which we call with two arguments. It's a global function which we call. Okay, so what it basically does is it checks if the num1 is equal to 20. Okay, if the num1 is 20, it will go forward with this statement, like go forward with any other statements afterwards. Okay, there in the below. Okay, and if it's not true, if the condition is false, it will revert the transaction and return this message. Okay, so let's deploy a contract and see what it actually does. Okay, so let's deploy it and we will call day10. As you can see, the transaction got executed. Initially the number was 10, now the number is 11. If we call the num, as you can see, the number value is 11. Okay, so this is one condition. Let's say if the number is not equal to 20, which means the required condition fails. Okay, as I said before, when the required statement condition fails, it reverts the transaction along with the state as well. We'll see how and why. Let's save it and let's redeploy our contract. Let's clear this as well. Okay, let's deploy it. Okay, as you can see up right here, we have deployed it. Let's call day10. As you can see, the transaction got failed with a message that num1 is not 20. Okay, why it happened? Because num1 is not equal to 20, so the condition become false and the transaction got reverted with this message. Okay, so as you can see, we have updated a number. Let's say before it was 10, and in this function we have updated it to 11. Let's see what's the value of num1, actual num. Okay, if you call num up right here, as you can see, it holds the value 10 itself. And why 10? Because when a require statement fails, whatever the condition or whatever the state changes that has done before the statement of require, all that becomes reverted, meaning it becomes undo. If we have updated it to 11, the changes will not reflect. It will remain as it was before calling this function. Okay, so this is a basic condition like require does, and this is all a require statement does. Like if you want to perform like multiple conditions, you can do it like using logical operators, which we saw in the previous video, and you can add as many conditions as you want, and this message is optional. Okay, you can remove this message and the condition still works if you call it like this. Let's call deploy. It's called day10. As you can see, here there is no message because we haven't given any message. Okay, since it's an optional functional parameter, we can specify or we may not. Okay, so this is all about require statements in Solidity. I hope you guys got to know about require statements. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye bye.